Salem FSX 178BHSK. Starting right up front, we have a light just in case you need to hook up at night. You have your extend and retract for your power tongue jack here. Right behind it, if you have this, or if you ever have any electrical issues with your power tongue jack, if it ever goes out, you can go ahead and insert a tool inside here. You peel this tab up, insert it, and then you can actually manually override this. For your propane, left is open, right is closed. And you have your battery disconnect here. Once your battery disconnected, you can turn off the power from your battery to the inside of your camper. That's what that main thing is. That's why it's called a battery disconnect, because you can disconnect the battery from the actual camper. Storage here. This is going to be your hitch, and this is going to be your drinking hose 110 adapter, so you can plug it into your house to start cooling your fridges before you leave for a vacation. And then here's your sewer hose. I do recommend getting a quote-unquote indestructible one so it doesn't break, because this is obviously the last thing you want to break and start leaking. Coming back here, this is going to be your city water connection. So this is when you get to a campground, you plug in your campground hose into here. You are going to need a water pressure regulator for this, because if you don't have one, if there's too much power, it could blow your lines. If there's too little power, obviously you're not going to be getting as much power through your shower, sink, whatever. So I do recommend getting one of those so it kind of helps balance it out. Here's your camp power or your shore power here. And just underneath it, you have your sewer system, gray tank and black tank there. So your gray tank is going to be like your showers and sinks, and then the black tank is going to be your toilet. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and do the black tank first, because that's going to be the dirtiest water. Open that up, let it drain out. Once it's done, go ahead and close it, open the gray tank, and I recommend doing this one last just because it gives it one last good rinse before you go ahead and put your hands back on there. Right back here, you have, let's see, right here, you have your low point drains, the hot on the right side, cold on the left. And cable satellite right here. If you do end up purchasing a backup camera, just go ahead, pop those 4 screws off, insert the camera there, and it'll give you a little tablet which will go into your cigarette lighter. Once it's in your cigarette lighter, go ahead and turn your running lights on. And with your running lights on, the camera will then start to feed to that tablet. Here's your outside shower. You have a hot and cold side in here, just knobs, and then your shower head is wrapped up with the hose right underneath. Here is your, there we go. Here's your outside kitchen. You have your fridge here, and your griddle here. So your griddle's out. Here's your LP gas hose right there, which then plugs into this right here. Open this up, turn this straight, and then the gas or the LP propane will then start to come out of this hose here. Right here you have 110 outlets. This little green cap indicates that your tires are filled with nitrogen rather than regular air. You are able to fill with regular air. It doesn't inflate or deflate with temperature change. Here's your water heater. So this is your anode rod. So this unit is used so you can see how it starts to deteriorate over time. Going along with that, after I say check it after every use, just in case, because these obviously do start to break down. But the main purpose, the reason why it is looking like this, is because this takes the beating from your tank. So this, all the hard water will eat at this and not your tank, so that actually saves it. What to do with it, put it right in there. Use a 1 1/16 socket to tighten that down, make sure it's nice and tight. Go to the inside, turn on the hot side of the faucet. It'll start to sputter a little bit. and then once it has a steady stream, go ahead and you can turn this on. You just want to make sure there's a steady flow of water coming out, because that means all the air is pushed out of your tank and is now full. So going along with that, water does get stagnant after a short period of time, so I do recommend emptying it every so often. So all you got to do is release the pressure with this pressure release valve. You'll hear it hiss. Once it's done hissing, that means the pressure is released. Go ahead, take your socket, pull this out, and then all the water will then drain from right in there. So your freshwater tank, this is just a big tank inside your camper. If you're going out to the middle of nowhere to go camping, I would recommend going ahead and filling this up, because this is going to give you a steady flow of water and actual running water while you're not hooked up to a city water connection. So for example, when you're out in the middle of nowhere, this is filled up, you go ahead and turn on the water pump on the inside, which I'll show you. But with that, that'll take water from this city, or the freshwater connection, and then push it through your systems, so you do have running water while you're not hooked up. Then let's say after your vacation you still have excess water, you have the freshwater drain right there. Just go ahead, unscrew that, and then all the water will then start to drain out. This is gonna be your furnace exhaust. When your furnace is on, all the excess heat will then kick out of here, and then, so this does get very hot, so I do recommend if there's any little kids in the area, just tell them don't touch this and to stay away from it, because they will actually get burned. Here are your steps. They just fold up, and then same goes for this one. You kind of lift up and push in at the same time. There we go. Lift up, push in, and then do the opposite to bring them back out. There you go. For your awning, you have a little black tab right there. So if this ever electrically goes out, you can go ahead, pop that black tab off, insert a tool, and then manually override it to move it back in or out. Moving to the inside, you have your little electronic panel here. You have all of your readers, so for your battery, fresh tank, black tank, which still is empty, and gray tank, which still is empty. That would be empty by the time you guys get here. I'm just doing it real quick before they do take it into the bay. You have your main lights, which you can control by, where it is, there it is, the little piece right there in the middle. All of them have it, so you can section them off however you'd like. Outside lights, water heater, so once again, once you have the anode rod in, you have a steady flow of water coming out of your hot side. Go ahead and you can turn that on. Water pump, that's for that fresh water connection, so that fresh tank, when you have water in there and you don't have running water, you're out in the middle of nowhere, go ahead, flip this on, and then this will then take water from your tank and push it through your lines. For your awning, you know you're gonna be fully extended when the excess flap kind of comes down, and then you can start to see the black bar behind it. Right there, you can see the black bar behind it. And then to pitch it for the rain, all you do is grab here, pull down, and then it'll then sink. All the water will then start to drain off on one side and empty. Push it back up before reeling it in, and you'll be all good. Also, when you do run your awning out, make sure your door is still open a little bit and not all the way open, because then it won't be able to actually open the awning. And then reel it back in. And the reason why I told you to stop when you see the black bar is actually because if you do keep on reeling it out while that opens up, it'll actually then start to reel in the opposite way and break your awning. Coming down here, this is your carbon monoxide detector. So this little green light is always on, showing that it's on. But that's also the downside, is because this, as a safety feature, it says always on. So going along with that, since this is always on, this little green light will actually kill your battery after about 3 to 4 days. So even if your battery disconnect is off and there's no power going from the battery to here, so what I do recommend doing is, if you are going to leave your camper for about 3 to 4 days, just go ahead, take the negative end off of your battery, because then this will finally die and not kill it. coming to your stove top. Press here. All it is press and turn, and then they'll ignite, just like that. For your keys, you got main door keys and then baggage door keys. And that'll also help with your outside shower. For your AC, you have high cool, low cool, high fan, low fan, all turned from here, and this is temperature, cool and hot. For all of your fans like this, twist to open them up, and then button for fan. For your refrigerator, open that up. You always want to have it closed like this during travel so that your doors don't swing open. Open this up, and right here you have how cool your fridge is going to be. So 1 is colder, 5 is going to be the coldest it can get. And all you do is just press here to choose between the temperature controls. The freezer is going to be right there in the back. You have cold on the left side, colder on the far right. And then just below it, you have your breakers and fuses. Breakers are gonna be labeled just like a house would be. And then fuses, I do recommend bringing extra just in case. That's just my personal recommendation. You can pick them up at any auto parts stores like an AutoZone or whatnot. Beds here, once again, lights do turn off manually. This is going to be your little heat here. You have cold, cooler there and warmer there. You just choose it by flipping this. That's why the black tank is full, is because they ran antifreeze through it. So I just have to empty that. Either way, on the right side here, it's going to be a foot flush. You are going to need toilet solution along with RV grade toilet paper. The toilet paper will help break down easier so it won't clog your lines, and then the solution will help break down solids and smells. Here's the TV backer here, and then a 110 outlet. This is going to be between like satellite and cable, and you can decipher that between this little button here, and then it is wired for Wi-Fi, so if you do decide to get one, the king, put it right in there. Now to turn this into a bed, go ahead and remove your cushions. Lift up here. I usually kind of push it, give it a little bit of pressure and push up at the same time. When you're going back, once it finds that sweet spot, it'll pop up. And then it just lays down like that. Then grab your bed and kind of fold it back over, maneuver it so it's under your window, and then just like that, it's now a bed. And do the opposite, fold that up, fold this up. I'll then kind of push that back. Switch the camera. And then move that back over just like that.